Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're doing okay. I'm going to read through this article, give you a bit of an overview about the article. First off, apologies to my subscribers. You're not going to be in the least bit interested in this. Frankly, nor am I. It's not that interesting. I'm only making this video because it has a celebrity in the headline, and I'd like to see if I can get some views from it. Bit of an experiment on my part. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Don't really care, but thought it was worth giving it a go. If you are new to the channel, then you may not want to subscribe. The type of content that I have on this channel is typically true crime of a very dark nature. A lot of murder cases, abuse, torture cases, that kind of thing. If that is your cup of tea, have a look around, like, subscribe, all of that. But if it isn't for you, no worries, on your way. So we'll have a look at the headline here. Pregnant YouTuber Trisha Paytas has called out critics for sex work shaming. Okay, so do you know who Trisha Paytas is? Yes, she's this gorgeous lady that you see in front of you there. She's a celebrity for one reason or another. God knows why. I'm not that familiar with her. I've heard her name many times. I know that she's a celebrity. Don't really know why. I know that she's done some weird things in the past. She's changed her gender multiple times, I believe. I'm not suggesting that's weird. Nothing weird about changing your gender. No. She is very popular, though, for whatever her reasons. She has close to 5 million YouTube subscribers. She's very big on TikTok. And also, more recently, she started an OnlyFans profile whilst being pregnant. And what is this article about? Well, it's probably some paid self-promotion bullshit, thinking about it, really, to be honest with you. But apparently, Trisha Paytas is upset, and because of that, the insider.com feels the need to make an article about her being upset. Why is she upset? Well, because people have been criticizing her for having an OnlyFans account. Why? Well, because she's a mother, and also because she's pregnant. So for those two reasons is the basic thing. So I'm just going to give you some of my comments in regards to that. And by the way, I'm not that interested in the subject, just trying to get a few views, like I say. But first off, I'm going to comment that look, I think a grown adult can do what they want, pretty much, if it doesn't harm others. If OnlyFans is considered sex work, whatever it's called, that's just a term in my mind. But if we call it sex work, I think it's perfectly fine if you're an adult. And actually, I think it's a good venture if it's something that you can do safely, independently, under your own control, and secure an income for yourself, hopefully a very good income for yourself. Why not do it? I mean, we're on this planet once, and I've got a very good work ethic. An example of that is I'm pumping out multiple videos every day. Don't even get paid to do this, I'm just doing it to see what happens, you know what I mean? So I've got a very good work ethic, but at the same time, if you can make a stack load of money by not doing a lot of work, just posting a few pics of yourself, then, I would not blame anybody, man or woman, should they choose to do that. I think good on you. Good luck with it. And everyone's got a market. You've got your gorgeous, skinny, big boobs, big booty. You got everyone. There's so many different flavors of human bodies that people find attractive. There's a market for everyone, pretty much. And it is a market. It's just providing a service or whatever, some products, some videos, some pictures, whatever it happens to be. Used panties, I don't know, whatever it is, right? They're just doing some work. It is work, and if you want to go and do it, go and do it. That's my opinion. Good luck to you. Now, to the question of Trisha Paytas being pregnant, or for that matter, anybody being pregnant. Perhaps a man was pregnant. These things happen nowadays. It's 2022, So if somebody was pregnant doing OnlyFans, do I have a problem with that? No, I don't have a problem with that. Who cares, As long as the unborn baby is in no way harmed, obviously, as long as it's not leading to any harm to anybody, why not? I don't really see the problem there. It's not my thing. I wouldn't subscribe to someone on OnlyFans to see their pregnant bulge. It's not my thing, but it's other people's thing, perhaps. I don't know. But I don't have any moral issue with it, and it's not illegal as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, the pregnancy issue, I don't think people have got a genuine reason to complain. But the part that I find is a little bit interesting, a part of which I find is something that I'm not able to give a concrete personal conclusion or personal judgment about, is the fact that should someone that's a parent, I mean, Trisha's said mother, Trisha's pointing to the fact that she's a woman, which is something women tend to do, by the way, if I'm allowed to say that. Perhaps I'm not. But, let's just keep it general. Let's include men in this as well. Let's say parent. Is it fair for a parent to engage in sex work, be that on OnlyFans or wherever else? Is it fair for that parent to do that? Is that going to potentially cause harm to the child at a later date? I literally don't know the answer to that. I literally don't know the answer to that. My feeling would be that in some cases it would, and in some cases it wouldn't. Some children would be highly embarrassed if they were to find out at some point in time that their parent engaged in this, that, or the other sexual work, or even any other type of controversial work. You could have a child get upset and angry because their parent worked in an abattoir, or because their parent worked for an oil company, or their parents worked in the defense industry, or their parents worked in the military. It's not only sex work that a child could get upset about, their parents being involved in. So I would think that it could potentially be embarrassing in some cases, and not so much in others. And I think, in my mind, me personally, I would be accepting towards those that do engage in sex work, or certainly this type of sex work. I literally have no problem with it. So I would think that a lot of other people would be understanding and accepting of it too. And if you're able to say to your child, as it were, say, hey, look, I chose to do this. I was a grown adult, and the reason I chose to do this is because it was going to reward me personally and be able to pay for a nice life for my family, and it's going to provide me with financial security. I think that's a hard argument to combat, So at a certain point, we've got to allow people to do what they want to do, as long as they're not harming anyone else. And I think putting people in a position where they have to self-censor themselves to the point that they deny themselves an income is probably a little bit unfair. So there's my random pointless thoughts on the entire subject. So Trisha is angry, and she's responded to some nasty people on Twitter rather, which is now 10% owned by Elon Musk, by the way. So here's a couple of the tweets. One person said, "Your kids are going to get bullied so bad at school." I mean, you don't know that. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. We don't know. And there are plenty of highly respected people out there in the world that have engaged in sex work. I'm going to mention Madonna. Okay, fine. Her respect level may have dropped off a little bit. She's in the news today for having had a matching tattoo with her 16-year-old son. So yeah, she's perhaps not as respected as she was a few years back or a decade ago. But ultimately, Madonna has been highly sexualized, as has been many pop stars, musicians, actors. And these guys, they get involved with sexually explicit content in movies, in music videos, photo shoots, whatever it happens to be. But that hasn't held them back. They elevate themselves beyond that. I can't imagine the children of Brad Pitt being that angry that he showed his abs off in Thelma and Louise. Well, those abs are pretty good, nearly as good as mine. So, I don't know. What's my point? I mean, my point is, yes, there is the risk that kids could get bullied and could be embarrassed, could receive some level of psychological harm to some extent about this situation, but it's not proven. It's not necessarily the case. So someone else says that they shouldn't be using OnlyFans when they're pregnant because it's sexually exploiting it. Okay, well, I mean, the whole thing is, yeah, I mean, this is just a word. People like to use words to shame people or people like to weaponize words and concepts at certain points. We exploit things constantly. If you're a restaurant, you go to the grocers, you buy some vegetables, you cook them, and you charge extra. You could argue that you're exploiting the hungry patron that wants to eat the food. You know, everything can be exploitation if you wish to weaponize and twist the meaning of these words. If you want to just be reasonable about things, objective about things, you know, you would say, hey, look, she's just doing her own thing. You know, she's only going to be pregnant for a certain period of time. If she wants to do whatever she's doing on OnlyFans whilst she's pregnant, how is it any of our business? As long, again, as no one and the unborn baby isn't being harmed in any way, I don't see it to be any different than her not being pregnant, frankly, other than, you know, having different fans. I suppose that's all we need to go over here. Have I enjoyed making this video? No, not really. I feel a little bit stupid for doing this video, but I thought I would because maybe on this channel I will definitely focus on true crime, definitely. But every now and then, maybe there's a hot topic that I can throw my 2 cents into, and maybe that will be worthwhile. Maybe it isn't. So anyway, if you're a current subscriber, sorry. If you're a new viewer, then have a look at my other videos before you subscribe. I'll thank you for your time.